What is going on, guys? It is Crazy Cray for the Bench Warmers, bringing you guys another Bench Warmer video. That's right, bringing you guys another video, but this one's going to be a little different. It's kind of like an educational video as far as what these electros can do. So these electros, guys, are absolutely devastating. If you put the right army comp with the right spells, your deployment looks good, everything should go as according, and you can actually devastate any base almost at any time. So sometimes you will come up short, and it could be because of a solid trap placement or the air sweepers, or you just really flubbed your attack. But either way, you're still really going to come out with a good percentage attack, typically a 2-star attack. So what we're going to do is right now we're in the Clan War Leagues, and we're going to look at all 7 attacks that I have done with my main account, Town Hall 12, typically fighting either 1 or number 2. And I'm going to kind of educate you or guide you on the direction you need to be going as far as using these electros. So let's jump in here. Once again, 7-0 in the Clan League games, and just did a great job. So here, the first war was kind of a chess match. So everyone, like I said, we waited till like the last 20 minutes to attack. So we were really trying to strategize because it was just a chess match, like I was saying. And so I didn't want to hit number 1. I want to send one of my 11s in to hit number 1 to secure that 2-star, and then we were just going to try and 3 everything down the map, which pretty much what we did, except we came up short a little bit on I think one of the mids, maybe a lower attack. But here we are coming in on Town Hall. I think it was a Town Hall 11. Yeah. So basically, all right. So what we want to do is whenever we're bringing electros, okay, what I like to use my army comp is I use 7 electros, and then I bring the rest loons. I always bring in 4 rage, I bring 3 freeze myself, and then at my clan castle, I bring max loons and 2 max rages, okay? So what we're trying to eliminate here is we're trying to eliminate the dragons going to the outer perimeter of the base, because you don't want that because they're very, very slow. So what you want to do is you want to funnel according. But first, what we need to do is we need to break down the base, okay? So for starters, you need to look at where the Eagle Artillery is. You need to look at where the air defenses are. You need to look at definitely the Infernos. Are they single? Are they multi? Expos? They really don't play a big factor, but the biggest things are air sweepers, Infernos, and air defenses. Okay, so, and clan castle. So what I like to do is I like to find an avenue of approach where I get the least amount of resistance, and I can draw out the clan castle troops and freeze them either on an Inferno Tower with the clan castle troops, or an air sweeper, or an air defense, something where I get maximum value for that freeze spell. Alright, so we're going to jump in here and we're going to talk about scouting for a second. Okay, so right now we're looking here, we have an air sweeper here, and it's blowing to the 3 o'clock position. And then we're going to look for the other air sweeper. So really these air sweepers are pointed to the south, southeast, and whatever. All right, so we know we don't want to come in on that spot because we're going to get a lot of resistance. And those Electro Dragons really take some time to wind up. And if an air sweeper blows them, blows them back, then those dragons have to rewind, and then it takes them longer to attack. So there's more DPS coming down on your electros, or more DPS taking down your loons, or whatever the case may be. But your army will thin out very quickly if you are going against those air sweepers. So of course, I see that, and of course this is kind of a perfect setup for me. So I got the clan castle on the same side as those air sweepers, so now I know I have an Inferno here. So if I pull that clan castle troop to around the 10 o'clock position, not only do I get to freeze an Inferno, I get an air defense, possibly an expo, which those expos really aren't going to affect me too much because they're all set on ground. So really those are the biggest ones I'm looking at. Okay, is drawing that CC out. Now I actually probably get a second air defense too, so this is kind of a bad layout. So what we're going to do is, the next thing you want to look at is, once you figure out kind of an avenue of approach, you want to get your funnels going, okay? So what I like to do is I like to drop an Electro Dragon somewhere around the corners to really create the funnels. So I want, I'd like to have all these buildings gone, so that way I I can drop my main army pretty much towards the middle of that side. So if I'm attacking from 9 to 12 o'clock, I'm going to funnel, create my funnel. So I would drop an Electro down here, and hopefully it would take out all this stuff right here, and drop another one around the 12 o'clock. And my goal is to, like I said, really create those funnels. But something else that you really need to look at is if, like, there's an archer tower there or an air defense that's in range of your funnel dragons. That's something you really need to keep in mind as far as keeping that funnel dragon alive. So if there's an archer tower somewhere around here, I would typically just drop an Electro and either 1 or 2 loons behind it, so that Electro will tank, and it will tank for a short amount of time, and then those loons will come in and take out that DPS. So, but you'll see that a little later on, but right now we're talking about funnel. So we're going to create our funnel, and then what we want to do is we want to drop our siege basically in the core, because we want that siege to go up the middle, because when that siege breaks, you're going to have max loons deploying. And so typically is I'll drop my siege, then I'll drop my Barb King for the second tank. So the siege will be the first tank, the Barb King will be the second tank, and then I'll drop my Archer Queen, and she's just going to kind of clear out space while those 2 tanks are up front, really just pulling a lot of DPS, and she's going to take out buildings really quick because she is a max Archer Queen. So level 60, she really puts the DPS out. She really pounds down those buildings, those defenses, and just really gets a good push inside there. Once I get my funnels cut, get my siege drop, get my heroes going, then I'll back them up with my Electro Dragons and then my balloons, and then of course last, my Grand Warden will be the last person on the map. So we're going to go on ahead, we're going to hit play, and we're going to see how this goes. Now, just take into consideration, once you get those dragons down, you want to give them time to push into the base, unless you see a defensive building like a single target Inferno or some air defenses, and they're really starting to pound down on your army. You want to make sure you get those freezed and then get those dragons raged through to take them out as quickly as possible. So you're going to watch this replay, and I'll talk you through it as we go, okay? So right now I'm going to drop my funnels over here at the 9 o'clock and, of course, the 12 o'clock. So you see I've got a little DPS going up here, but it's not as much that would really cause a big, a big problem for me. It's just one Tesla. So there's my siege, and I'm trying to bring him in so he can target, he can target basically the Expo, but what I'm really wanting him to do is actually hit this Inferno too, as well as being right there to take out that air defense. So you can see right here I didn't really do what I was talking about. I didn't drop my heroes with it because I didn't want my heroes to kind of wander towards the south, which there shouldn't be a problem, but siege is going in, and of course it's going to tank. And then those Electros, I'm going to give them time to develop. You see how they're pushing into that base. I'm going to freeze these air defenses and this wizard tower. I mean, not wizard tower, but Inferno. So now I got those loons going in. I did miss that air defense. And those multi-targets is a big problem for your balloons. So you make sure, use the Grand Warden ability, freeze it, rage it through, and then just watch these troops go through the core of this base and just literally gut the base. So now I've got all these loons on the front end. I got these Electros on the back end. Heroes are doing a great job, and they're going to really have a lot of value as far as pushing deep into this base. So you can see I got 3 Electros down here. I got 3 Electros up there. It's got some loons. Still got my Queen ability. So pretty much this is a lights out attack. So that's going to be attack number 1. We'll go ahead and speed this up, and we'll push on to replay number 2 and get you guys another look at some replays here. So there was that one. Then we got number 2, and we'll talk about this as well. So this one we came in on number 1 this time, and it was a Town Hall 11, so it's pretty easy. It's a lot easier, I should say, than a Town Hall 12. So once again, we're gonna see where these air sweepers are. There's one air sweeper going to around the 5 o'clock position, and there's one that's facing the 9 o'clock position. So got a level 1 Eagle artillery. The biggest thing we got to watch out for is these multi-target Infernos, because they will target, of course, 5 troops at a time. So if you got your balloons coming in, they will really get your balloons down. And your balloons are a big part of your attack as well. So what we want to do is check out these air sweepers. So we don't want to really go against the grain. And we got to check out these multis, see where they're stationed at. And then we're looking at the clan castle troops. So I'm thinking probably a good approach would be to come in from the 12 to 3. Because once again, air sweeper, there's no resistance there, and there's really no resistance here. Plus, we're going to get to this multi-target. You got an air defense. And so this clan castle can be pulled. Of course, you guys see an open spot right there, which, you know, there's no sense of wasting a troop to lure out CC troops when you're carrying Electro. So my goal is to bring these clan castle troops, lure them out, and I can get a really good value for a freeze here. So I got my funnels cutting, and the multi-target isn't a big deal, so my dragon can really tank on that. I don't have to do a whole lot. Got the core troops going down. It's targeting those Electros, but I put a freeze down there, and then Grand Warden ability for that Eagle Artillery. I'm gonna freeze that dragon that can really put a little struggle on some balloons. And once again, getting ready to do that second push across that base. Got another freeze going down, and that's all it is, guys. Once you drop these troops, you just watch your troops, and you use spells accordingly. And that's all it is. You know, you bring 5 freezes, and typically you can use, you know, you'll usually have a couple for the back end of the map, you know, for something that can really hurt your attack, like this air defense, which isn't a big deal. But look how many balloons I have up. Look how many dragons I still have up. Still have the queen ability once again. And she's just going to go through and finish this base off. So there it is. Another solid attack. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, just drop them down in the comments. You know, if you need clarification on something, just drop them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as quick as possible. Or just hit me up in clan chat, because really I only make these videos mainly for the clan. So we got a few new guys that's going to come in and do some Electro attacks, and they're actually adjusting really, really well. These dragons are really powerful. I'm sure they'll get nerfed soon, but that's besides the point. So here we are, checking out the next war, and you guys can see the amount of 3 stars that I get with this attack, and it's just a really good attack. It's a very tanky attack. Yes, it's a slow attack, but if you do it right, you can push those troops through that base very, very quickly. So here we are again, going on a Town Hall 12 this time. Now let's take a peek at this base. All right, he's got some really good air defenses, so it is a little challenging, and he's got single target Infernos. Okay, all 3 of them are single target. Granted, one's lower, but it doesn't matter, because even the low one will still melt your dragons. But he's got max air defenses. He's got 2 max singles. He's got a level 5 Town Hall, which that will hurt too as well. And so he's got some really powerful defensive structures there. But what we're going to look at is we're going to look at an avenue of approach. So we have an air sweeper down in here. Okay, it's actually facing south, and let's look at the other one. The other one's facing north. Okay, so it's going to be kind of tough to find an avenue of approach where you don't have resistance. Sometimes you just got to pick the best route, even with resistance, but you also want to look at the value, once again, the value of the free spell. All right, we got clan castle troops right there in the core, and we got an air sweeper right there, and we got well-placed air defenses. So let's take a peek at this real quick. So we got our funnels. Of course, guys, builder huts. The builder huts will end your attack so fast. It will keep you shy of 3 stars. So you want to make sure you target those builder huts on the side you're coming in first, because those dragons are so slow. They will not go around the map and take out every builder hut by the time in. So what we want to do is we want to take out those builder huts. Then I'm going to let them come down and develop. They're going to come down and they're going to develop their funnels. All right. So I get my siege down. And the whole point of this siege is, if you guys look from the town hall to where my siege is, look at everything that's in line. I've got an archer tower, which is gonna my siege will tank for, but this siege will take out an air defense, and it probably won't make it to the Inferno, but I will freeze that on the way. but we'll see. I don't quite remember how this attack went down, but we're talking through it. Okay, so I got my funnels cut, and this guy, he's going to cut as well. This dragon up here, he's gonna finish that funnel. There's the funnel. So now the core of my dragons are going to go. The siege is going to take out this next air defense. There it goes. I didn't quite take it all the way down, but there we go. I've got dragons coming out, freeze, which was a miss, and then of course I seen that dragon out, so you got to pop the ward ability. Sometimes you just have to adapt. Then you do a double freeze. Check it out. Infernos are pretty much a no-go, and then we're going to go on ahead and drop another freeze on that town hall, because that town hall being a level 5 will really affect this attack. And then you can tell all Infernos are down. And got one air defense left. Still got some balloons up. And I believe I had some skeletons or some traps or something there in the core that really held up those dragons. But that queen still have the queen ability. Still got a dragon up top, which won't last too much longer. Got these 3 down low. It's going to take out the enemy queen. Got my level 60 queen coming up. She's going to take out pretty much this area of the base. Taking out that last air defense, and that is the beauty of having a max queen, people. So if you don't have a max queen, please be sure to get that max queen, and especially the max king, just because of the fact that these are really a big core part of your attack, because they will save you on the back end. If you don't have good heroes, I cannot emphasize enough that you really just need to work on those heroes and get them up as high as possible, because like I said, they will help you on the back end. And if I didn't have those 2 dragons might possibly be, they'll probably be dead. So those heroes really, really do help. Now we're going to jump in here. We're going to check out number 4. Okay, I think eventually I got a 2-star on somebody, but I think it wasn't until like War 6, maybe 5 or 6, somewhere around there. So once again, we're gonna dissect the base. All right, Town Hall 11. So it's going to be a little easier. So, you know, he does have max air defenses for Town Hall 11. You have your Eagle, which isn't a real big deal, but you got your sweepers blowing north, blowing south, and you got multi-target Infernos. So those multi-targets, you really, like I said, you have to watch out with those balloons. That's a big one. So got north, got south. So now we're just basically going to have to pick an avenue of approach on entry. So what we're going to do is we're going to do from 3 to 6. Got Expo set to ground, so they're not a real big factor in this fight. And then we're going to send this siege. And basically, whenever you're doing your siege, going for the town hall on that side, I'll try to target an air defense or an Inferno. That's the biggest thing I try to target, just because those do the most damage to any part of your attack. And so I want to direct this siege from the town hall to their defense, and then I just want to pull it out, okay, somewhere down here. So I want to drop that siege so it'll do a straight line, target that air defense to get to the town hall, to drop those loons towards the core of the base and really get those loons pushed in. So let's take a peek. I do have the funnels cut. Now, right here, guys, if you check this out, I've got an archer tower up top. Okay, you notice I dropped that Electro Dragon, and the Electro Dragon was tanking, but it was taking some hits from that archer tower. I want to keep that Electro Dragon up. So what I did was I dropped a loon, and this loon will come in here and really just try to take out that one defensive structure that was targeting that Electro, so that Electro stays up. And same way here is I want to keep that Electro up, so I'm sending a loon, which really didn't do much. But you notice the siege is going for the air defense. Air defense is down. Clan Castle troops are coming out, and it was just kind of a bad freeze right there. I mean, I did get the queen, I did get the troops, but I wanted to slow those down because there was a witch down there, and I don't want those little skeletons running around everywhere and then create more skeletons. So there it is, got another freeze. Still got one in the back. We're going to use it again on that same area, and that's a lot of value right there for that freeze. You got the air defense, you've got the Inferno Tower, and you got the Grand Warden. So that's a really good value, and that's things you need to look for as far as spell placement. You don't want to just freeze one. You want to try to get multiple defenses frozen and stopped, so it just really slows down the damage per second on all of your dragons or your loons to keep those troops going through the base. So there it is, got a lot of good value. Down goes the Inferno, and then by that time the Electro is already on that air defense. Loon was on the air defense. It goes down, and then basically it's just cleanup. And once again, with those max heroes coming on the back end for cleanup, it just does a great job. So there it is. There's that attack, and basically we're just going to run around the base and clean things up. So that hopefully you guys are pulling some good information on this. I'll try to put this out. I think Kid Huddy, Chobby for Griff. I think they really want to try to use some Electros just because, I mean, they're just devastating. It's a solid attack right now at Town Hall 12. It's very viable. A lot of people use them for trophy pushing. A lot of people use them for war. I use them for war a lot. So they're just a really good attack, and you're pretty much guaranteed a star for sure. I mean, even if you're trophy pushing, you're guaranteed at least a 50% or Town Hall. And so you're really not going to lose. The only time you're going to lose is if you log off, you get hit, and you lose some cups. But it does take a while to train, so I advise you to upgrade all your barracks if you don't already. So here we go. Let's check out round 5. And yeah, this is a 2-star attack coming in. Almost a 3, so almost had it. But it was a tough 12. Now we're going to take a peek at it, okay? So a little more spaced out. He does have max air defenses. You've got a sweeper going north, a sweeper going south. You got 3 Infernos. You got 2 of them, which are multi. And then you have 1 that is single. And the air defenses, of course, are pretty much centralized right there in the core. And you have all your Expos set to air. So good job on his part for a good defensive base. Looks pretty solid. So now we got to figure out an avenue of approach. Okay, you got clan castle troops. You got a town hall that's level 5, so it's going to be a tough base to beat, especially as spaced out it is. All right, so the avenue of approach, what we're going to do here is what we want to do is we want to create those funnels. So we're gonna start off creating those funnels. We're going to come from a 6 to 9 position. Got a lot of area that's basically unguarded down here, so that's free percentage. And you just got 1 archer tile that you really got to worry about right here. And we're going to try to take that out with a balloon here shortly. But you got all these buildings that, you know, you got one that can only target air, plus of course the expo right there, but not a big deal. So we're going to go ahead and play through this, and then we're going to should be dropping a balloon on that south side, I would assume. Maybe I didn't this one. I probably should have watched this before I made this video, but clearly it's still going to tank, so it'll be fine. So, all right, so core is gutted. I'm going to bring my siege to the core of the base, and going to drop these dragons here shortly right now, and then going to get those loons behind them to target this stuff down here. Got a single. I'm going to freeze that along with this air defense, and they're going to come in. Here comes dragons again. Should drop another freeze on the... there you go. Got the eagle frozen. Gonna freeze these multis up here. Multi should be frozen by now, which I don't know what I was thinking. That probably could have been where I went wrong. I didn't even freeze that multi inferno up top towards the 9 o'clock area. So that's where I went wrong, clearly, because I still have the 1 freeze in the bag, and then I got all those loons and everything else. So yeah, that was a botched attack. I clearly didn't pay attention to that multi inferno that was up there towards the top left of the map. And that's where I messed up on this attack. So if I would have frozen that Inferno, those loons would have stayed up. They would have came around. They would have hooked around and pathed this way and would have taken out that part of the base. And I wouldn't have had to worry about it. But that was my mistake. And hey, sometimes you just make mistakes and you come up slightly short. So once again, coming in, trying to speed this up here. Came out to be a 94%. And because of my mistake, I didn't keep my loons up, so it didn't take out more defenses. So ultimately, my heroes died towards the back end, so they weren't there to clean up. So there that was. So learn from that mistake, and then hopefully just move on and take something away from that. So here we are again, coming in on these guys. Got another Town Hall 12, and once again, I already see that there's going to be some good value for a freeze. Air Sweeper and the Multi-Inferno will get frozen, as well as the Town Hall. So that's really, really nice. And I'm pretty sure I came in from 3 to 6 o'clock, which was down this way. So I could target the air defense. I can pull the Clan Castle troops across the Town Hall, Inferno, in here, so I can get everything frozen right in here. Plus, hopefully, the enemy queen. But more than likely, the enemy queen will step up, so I should get her closer to this air defense. And then look at this. They got all these high DPS areas, so a freeze will pretty much eliminate all that too. So we're going to go on ahead, take a peek at this. Pretty sure I came down on this side. I did not come down on that side at all, which I should have. I don't know why I didn't come on that side, looking at this once again. So 9 to 12, came in 9 to 12. It must have been a quick attack. I don't know why. But the base is so compact, so I felt pretty good. So got some... yeah, I don't really... Oh, okay, there's my siege is still up. All right, so yeah, so got that dragon going around. Got those loons coming down. Got my heroes down. Everything is just going. Got the freezes going. Rage is coming through. We're about to hit another freeze again. Another freeze again. Here we go. And I'm not hitting that single for some reason. I don't know why I'm not hitting that single, but it's pretty much a GG. Once you get those troops moving, those balloons are still up, and those balloons are scooting across. It's really hard to stop. And I see a lot of things right there just in that specific attack that I did wrong. I feel like the avenue of approach was wrong. I felt like I wasn't getting the best value for my freezes and so on. But you can look at the amount of dragons that are still up as long as my king ability plus my queen ability. The warden's going to go down here shortly. But that's the good thing about the warden is he can tank for a short bit before he goes down. That allows you to get your queen around or more dragons hooked back around to take out those defenses. But there it is. That's the end of that one. So pretty solid attack. A lot I did wrong, but still pull out the 3-star, and that's the beauty of Electro Dragons. Super powerful, very tanky, and just got to keep them moving. So here we are on the final war, and going in again on their number 1. Town Hall 12 looks pretty decent. The only thing, you're looking at this Town Hall 12, and I just got to wonder why his air defenses are still this low. Okay, Town Hall 10 air defenses. Only got a level 3 Town Hall. So, I'm not real worried. The biggest fear I have on this attack is, of course, the Infernos, which I'm bringing 5 freezes. So that can pretty much just take them out of the game. So, I've got an air sweeper going to around 1, 2 o'clock, somewhere around there, 1 o'clock. And then I think there's another air sweeper. Sometimes whenever you're looking for these things, it's like a Where's Waldo book, okay? You're looking at this and you're like, where's Waldo? But I'm trying to find this other. There it was. I knew it wasn't a good layout. So got another one aiming towards 4 o'clock. So I'm pretty sure I came in from the 12 to 3 area. So we want to get our funnels going. Come on now. Slow start, evidently. I was oh, no, I didn't. Okay, so I came in from 9 to 12. Clearly, I'm dumb. About as smart as a box of rocks. So this time, I did a little different. Okay, instead of doing funnels, I took a chance and just dropped them in a line because I've got a queen here. She really would have did some work. First off, she would have distracted that funnel. Okay. Second off, I've got air defenses at the corner. So once that dragon basically gets through this first building, which should take out these 3 buildings right here, possibly hit this arch tower. Once he pushes up, this air defense is going to be just beating on him. And I know a couple loons aren't really going to push in far enough to get that air defense down before that dragon goes down. So, and I don't want to waste a rage on the corner. You do not want to do that because then you're only down to 3 rages. So what I basically did was just drop them in a line. I'm going to try and rage them in a straight line somewhere across here because I've got 3 air defenses, plus I've got the multi. So got my loons going in the core. It's about to pop. Here they go. They pop. They're raged. They're backing up. You notice how they come with all the army, and then going to use the Eternal Tome here shortly. once I get to that town hall, there it goes. And then those should be saved from that multi-target, which I probably could have waited on that freeze for that multi-target. That was kind of a waste. So that's another thing you did that I did wrong. If you use your Eternal Tome, wait until that Eternal Tome is finished and then put that freeze on. Just because of the fact that if you freeze while your Eternal Tome, you basically just wasted a freeze. Okay, the freeze max is like 5 seconds, 4.5, 5 seconds, somewhere around there. So if you Eternal Tome, and that'll last for however many seconds, I'm not quite for sure. But once that wears off, then you can drop your freezes so you're getting maximum value pushed across that base. And once again, I failed there. So with a lot of these that you're seeing, I'm pointing out mistakes that I have done. And, you know, we're all human, and it happens, especially when you get into the heat of battle and you don't recognize that that's been popped, or all you see is all these lava rays coming out from an inferno, so you're just like, oh, I got to get that down because I don't want to see that, because that will hurt an attack. And as you can see, those heroes, the queen is almost dead, and because of those mistakes, those heroes are almost down. But they're going to come around, they're going to clean up this base. So there it is, guys. Hopefully this helped for some of you new Town Hall 11s coming in to join the Electro family. There's the army comp I use. Sometimes you can drop 6 balloons and bring in an 8th Electro, but I like the balloons just because they target the the defenses, and I think more loons equals just more tanks. So 7 Electros, 14 loons. You got 4 rages, 3 freeze, and then loons and CC and freeze and CC. So hopefully this helps, bench warmers. If you got any questions, like I said, hit me up in the comments, or probably the easiest way would be hit me up in chat, and I'll try and guide you through. So I've done some coaching in there, but hopefully this will help you through some of that. Like I said, air sweepers is one of the biggest things, and clan castle troops, as well as infernos and air defenses. So those are the things to look at, and make sure you create those funnels. But once again, guys, great job, bench warmers, on everything you do. So proud to have this team that we have. We're kicking butt, and we're just doing phenomenal things down there in Bench City at the bench warmer. So everyone, take it easy, and this is Crazy Cray. See you.